Hey foodies, thanks for watching. I'm going to take this and turn it into this. And you might be wondering, what is this? This is called quince. I've never had quince before, and I've always wanted to try it because I can't have apples or pears, and this tastes just like an apple or pear. It's a great substitute. So I want to start by peeling these up. And this is a little on the ripe side, but who knows? Maybe this is what it's supposed to look like. I've sliced that up. Now I'm going to core it. Oh my goodness, that's... Holy cow. I'm glad I have a sharp knife, because this seems to be a little challenging on coring. That core seems very hard. Now that I've cored it all, I'm just going to clean up my mess. And I'm going to start by putting some hot water into a pan because I want to blanch these. And some brown sugar. I'm going to use a little bit of the salt. And I'm using maple syrup. And then I'm going to chop these up. Get rid of that. And let's toss these into the pan. And I'm going to blanch those for about 10 to 15 minutes. And while they're blanching, let's go ahead and make the pastry. We want to start by putting our gluten-free all-purpose flour blend in. And some sugar. A little bit of salt, and our cold butter. It's important that your butter is really cold, and that's so that the fat gets left in little chunks in the pastry. Okay. Oh. We're going to mix this until it comes all together. I've got it mixing and mixing and mixing, and I'm like, why isn't it coming together? Why isn't it coming together? It's just looking drier and drier. I forgot to add the eggs, so we're going to add the eggs right now. There we go, that's one. And that's two. And now we're going to finish mixing it. And just like that, it came together. So it's a little on the soft side, so I'm going to just pop it into the fridge for about a half hour just to let it come together, because it's way too sticky. And once the butter firms up a little bit, then we'll be able to roll it out. I'll see you in just a moment. So my pastry sat in the fridge for about an hour, and it's firmed up really nicely. I'm just going to cut this right in half, because I need a bottom first. I'll just wrap that. And then I've got some dusting flour, more gluten-free flour. You don't want to mix that stuff. Oh, that feels much nicer. A little extra flour. Let's roll this out. Whoops. Oh, this is beautiful pastry. Okay, and I'm rolling this out to just under 1/4 inch, or about 3 or 4 millimeters thick. So I want to have a nice thick crust. Just going to do a tiny little bit of flour just to, and I think I could probably just fold it in half and pick it up, and then just place it right in just like that. Oh, it's beautiful pastry. And then I want to take my knife, just go along the edge. There we go. So this is going to get used up for the lid, so I'm going to add that back to my other pastry. Now I want to par bake this. So in order to par bake, you can't just pop this in the oven or the pastry itself will start to puff up. So you take a little piece of parchment paper and you set it in there, and I have a dedicated jar of old beans, and you just put beans in the bottom of it, and that's mostly just to weigh it down. You can also buy pie weights, and they work really well, but I find if you just reuse old beans, that they don't really go bad, and when they're super dry, they work really well. And this is going to go into my preheated oven of 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius for about 10 to 15 minutes, or until it's just starting to firm up. See you in a moment. So let's take a look at the quince, and it looks really good. It's firmed up really nicely. I want to drain off all the liquid. There we go. There, and I'm going to just set that aside for a moment. And I'm going to set that aside. We're going to come back to that pot in a minute. I'm going to take a little bit more flour and some brown sugar and the rest of that salt and some cinnamon and a little bit of cardamom. And cardamom, I find, is a really nice, fragrant flavor and very floral. And I'm just taking the outside skin off of the cardamom. You can buy this already ground, but I find fresh tastes so good. And you don't really need a lot of cardamom. There we go. So I'm just going to grind that up. Oh, wow, that's fragrant. It's so pungent. It's so nice. Okay, so, a little bit more there. And I'm going to stir that up with a spoon. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to lift. Let's move that. And I'm going to lift this up, pour my juice and liquid back into the pot. I'm going to pour my sugar and flour mixture in, as well as some lemon juice and a little bit more butter. And I'm going to put this on the stove, and we're going to heat this up until it starts to thicken up a little bit. Now it's thickened up really nicely. Let's grab the quince, and we're going to get that in here so it coats everything. It smells like an apple or pear pie. I'm really excited to try this. And that is going to go off the heat. I'm just going to set it over to cool for a moment. I've got a few minutes, so I think that's enough time for me to get the top of the pie shell done. So a bit more flour. There we go, nicely dusted. And I want to roll this out to about the same thickness as the base. That looks really nice. So let's fold this up, and it's ready to go. Oh, let's look at this pie. That looks great, that pie shell. I'm going to put this on there. Let's pull those out. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. You can see the crust has started to cook really nicely. So we're going to pour in our quince. Oh, this looks beautiful. It smells amazing. And the reason why we're par baking it is because we don't want to have a soggy bottom. You might have heard from lots of those baking shows, oh, don't have a soggy bottom, and I totally get it. You don't want to have an undercooked pastry on the very bottom of everything. It kind of ruins the taste and the texture of everything. So now I want to take a little bit of wet water. You can also use an egg wash, and I'm just lightly dampening the edge of the pastry here, just to help the lid stick a little bit. There we go. And now putting this on like that. Oh, beautiful. And just a light press on there just to make it stick. And I take my knife. There we go. And I'm going to take a fork. Just do a little forked pressing. It's not sticking terribly well. That's better. I find doing a little press and tear off is helping. And now you need some air vents, so I'm going to do 4. And then we need a big Q. I'm thinking of doing a fancy Q, which looks more like the number 2. There we go. This is going to go back in the oven for about 30 minutes. This looks so good. I mean, look at it. I mean, it's, oh, I can't wait. It smells really good in this place. And I pulled it out of the oven. It took about 35 minutes. And I was like, okay, I've got to wait for it to cool. What am I going to do? And I started playing games on my phone, and I'm waiting and waiting. Like, oh, I'm just going to look at the recipe again. And I looked at the recipe, and I'm like, oh, it said 10 minutes. I'm digging in. So it's been 10 minutes. I want to cut into it. I want to see what it's like. And let's see. The knife cuts through really nicely. Let's get a nice slice there. Okay. Let's see. I hope I don't have a soggy bottom. Oh, I missed some of it. It says to serve it with ice cream, but I just want to have it on its own. I know what ice cream tastes like, but I don't know what quince tastes like. And it smells really good. I can't wait to try it. It also looks very hot. But I imagine with the ice cream it would go very well. Hot. That's really good. I'm just trying to think of what it tastes like. It's got the texture of apple and pear, which is really nice. And with the spices, the little tiny bit of cinnamon and cardamom in there, it really adds to the apple kind of flavor. That's a really good pie. That's a really, really good pie. If you're looking for the recipe, you can visit glutenfreeguy.ca. I would love it if you followed me on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn, or even Pinterest. Thanks for watching.